Cyprus football, the passion, the thrill. The passion, the thrill. The stadium's roar, you can feel the chill. You can feel the chill. The teams are ready, the battles will start. The battles will start with dreams of glory, they'll play with heart.
Kalimera, kalispera, whatever time you are watching. This is Mappa. Hi, check it out. I'm on my own. I'm on the ones and twos. I now understand why Stell has me talking a lot when we're doing the podcast, because there's a lot of pointing and clicking over here. There's a lot of pointing and clicking on this other screen that I've got on this side here. I've got my notes. It's gonna be a show. I can tell you for a fact it's gonna be a show. Kalispera. I've got this as well to do. I've got the comments here that I need to bring up at the same time. So that's it's going to be and of course I'm not completely on my own, because I'm joined by this guy right here. I don't know if you can see him. He's absolutely huge. But anyway, nothing to do with football. Let's get on with the football. So what happened this week? Well, first of all, some Conference League matches happened since me and Stell were on the pod last. So let's talk about those. Now, firstly, we've got Omonoia playing Drita in Kosovo. So obviously the Omonoia fans and the team, I'm guessing, as well as a lot of Gibro, probably went in with high expectations, as the game versus Drita was to be one of their more winnable games. However, you could call it a dominant performance. I'll go into the stats a bit later. However, there's a in the end, the game finished with a 1-1 draw, and Omonoia actually fell behind as well. So Stell blamed a defensive lapse for the goal, with Gitsos leaving his man free to put a cross in, and Koulibaly standing off his man, leading to a free header hitting the post, and the ball rolling into the net. Now, by the 45th minute, Omonoia had equalised, with Masouras bagging a goal from Evandro's corner as well. Does Masouras not score many goals? His celebration was a bit. It was a bit like my windmill that I do whenever Cyprus end up scoring a goal or winning a game. Yeah. Anyway, so it goes to 1-1. Now, that's the way the game finished. However, if you have a look at the stats, you would have expected Omonoia to kind of breeze this. They had 13 shots compared to 4, 3 big chances. Drita's goal actually wasn't considered a big chance, according to the stats. Almost double the number of passes, but the big number didn't change. So, even the XG, Omonoia had like 1.19, whereas Drita, including their goal, was only 0.17 XG. So, now, Adonis Yanakas here with the funny comment: is there a video coming through for anyone? Anyway, yes, Tom Shelby, where is the other Kellys? Toiletta? I don't know. Wherever he is, it's somewhere in Cyprus right now. Last time I spoke with him was to get the code to get into StreamYard, and he was driving at the time. For the sake of any police officers watching, he pulled over before he looked at his phone to give me the code. Anyway, we've had the bad and the ugly for Europe. Now let's go to the good, and this is the big story, which was the even more unlikely score of Ajax beating Crystal Palace 1-0 in London. Hey, hey, God, you lads, God, AK, God, yeah. So before the game, I said that an improvement on the result versus West Ham 3 seasons ago would have been good for Ajax, based on the results that Crystal Palace have had over the last few months, and Ajax being solid, if not unspectacular, in the league this season. You know, they haven't really set the place alight, have they? Now, instead, they took the lead versus Crystal Palace, with Bajic scoring a beautiful goal to take the lead in the 51st minute. And they held on for a famous win, the first Cypriot team to get a win in England ever. If you don't count, if you don't count the Gorbite League, you know, plug in the other podcast right here. Yeah. Anyway, Crystal Palace did have their chances, with Mateta hitting the crossbar in their best one, and that was a real humdinger. I'm not sure how that chance was missed, but anyway, the crossbar was hit. And a couple of the comments from Crystal Palace fans called the tactics harambol. Listen, harambol won them the game, so is it really harambol? Anyway, the fans, obviously ecstatic, as they should be. They were the noisiest part of the stadium, and were there for a long time afterwards, just having a great time. I suspect as well a lot of Charluthia showed up, regardless of club support as well. Now I had to do a bit of digging. Apparently there were 750 people in attendance there for Ajax, so not bad going. Well done, guys. Well done. Now, before the game, the fans, the Crystal Palace fans, revealed what seems like a really out of place tifo now, where they had like a Dad's Army thing going, where they had Crystal Palace coloured arrows pointing them towards where the Conference League finals to be played at the end of the season. The words that they had on their banners were, "We are the boys who will win your little game," which is like a play on the theme song to Dad's Army. If you don't have the context for Dad's Army, I can explain it, but it's still not going to make much sense for you. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, one thing we did find out about Crystal Palace is they don't like it up 'em. That's a quote from Dad's Army as well. But anyway, yeah. Of course, with Ajax getting arguably the 2 most difficult games out of the way, the prediction models released by a few accounts that I follow on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, basically now show Ajax coming first in the league phase because of it. However, there is some bad news for Ajax, and that is Yason Chacon did his ACL in during the game, which is horrid news. And it's reached his homeland and his previous club, who before the start of the game the other day, the first 11 posed with an Ajax shirt with Chacon's name on it as well. So Rockax, with the luck Crystal Palace had, even if they played 2 more halves, they wouldn't have scored. They would not. I mean, even if Alomovic wasn't in goal, if they just left it open there, they would not have done anything with it. George, non-league Greek Cypriot playing in the English pyramid system have won FA Cup qualifiers. Exactly. Now, that is that Rockax, here you go. Chakov, am I right? Jokes aside, I hope he recovers soon. Me too. He's a very, very good player for AEK. I'm pretty sure the way that AEK deal with their youngsters, they probably had somebody to sell him to in January, which probably won't be going through now. But yeah, we wish him a speedy recovery, and hopefully, for my sake, he doesn't play against Abuel. And with that, we have to move into the Prodathlima. Now, I have to figure out how I'm going to do this. Hopefully, this works. Hey, there it is. Right, but I'm going to do something different to what Stel normally does. Hey, look at me! I'm in the corner. I'm just going to hit play on this, and we can talk about Achna versus Baralimni to start off with. So the game finished 5-1. Baralimni's nightmare season continues as Achna steamrolled past them, thanks to in particular 3 first-half injury-time goals, all scored within 4 minutes. Baralimni took the lead thanks to Museliani penalty in the 4th minute. Babayorio scored the equaliser in the 34th minute with a massive mistake from Banayodu. And then Anderegen scored in the 45th plus 4 minutes, 45th plus 6 minutes, and Psaltis scored a peach in the 45th plus 8th minute. And then, Serhas came on, scored for Achna in the 80th minute. Oh, there we go. So Serhas came on in the 80th minute to score for Achna to make it 5-1. But yeah, even so, everything got compounded for Achna for Baralimni right at the end of the game, where Ella in like the 93rd, 4th minute, something like that, got himself sent off for an elbow to Angelopoulos. There's no complaints from him. He knew he was gone as soon as he did it. The disappointment in himself is evident on his face. Now, Baralimni did have some chances as well. In the 22nd minute, Ella hit the post from a counter-attack, which could have made it 2-0. Could have been a completely different game from then on. And Edson had also hit the post for Baralimni in the second half as well, as they pushed forward to try to get into the game. So yeah, a complete mess for Baralimni. And yeah, Achna kind of marching on as normal, I guess. Anyway, let's go to the next game, because there's not much news coming out of those two teams. And this is Olympiacos versus Apollon. Olympiacos getting another great result if you just look at the scoreline, but dropping points again from a winning position. This is João Mario grabbing a goal from a set piece to start things off. Vrikis bagged an equaliser in the 78th minute. Weisbeck thought he scored the winner in the 95th minute. And that is until Barbosa scored Olympiacos' equaliser in the 98th minute. Right? So, now, I'm going to bring this comment up. Now, Goodlies, here's the thing, right? I think Sophronis is trolling us, right? Because the two players didn't actually meet on the pitch. You see, because Shikis got taken off in the 62nd minute and Vrikis came on in the 76th minute. But here at This Is Mappa, we don't deal too much in complications like this. So I need to get rid of his comment first, don't I? So I'm going to do that, and then click a little bit here, and here it goes.
Friki, siki, friki, siki, Olo Belun, Όλο μπαίνουν βρίκι σίκι, βρίκι σίκι. Δεν μας φτάνουν, δεν μας δένουν. Βρίκι σίκι, βρίκι σίκι. Χορεύει η κερκίδα με το ρυθμό. Βρίκι σίκι, βρίκι σίκι. Γκολ και χαμός από όλων Θεός. Βρίκι σίκι.
Vrikishikis. Hey. Yes, we did it. But yeah, I don't understand Sofroni. And in fact, my my brother was at a café and he told me Sofroni's was sat behind him. So I said to him, just have a word. Make sure Vrikis gets some minutes, yeah? So we can play the theme song. He gets him a goal. Like, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Anyway, yes, Loizo. Yes, Loizos. Sofroni's trolling. He's hating. Yep, trying to catch me riding dirty. Gullis, yes. Now, so I'll talk a bit more about the game itself. Again, Olympiacos seem to be playing this really high-intensity pressing game, which seems to be getting results if games finish in the 75th minute. So Gosti needs to find a solution to this so that they're actually getting better results than what their performances are asking for. But that's what you're going to do. What you going to do? Anyway, let's go to the next game. And this is Agritas versus Omonoia Radipo. Jalimu Adib scored a nice goal. I think it's a nice goal. Did very well. But then Agritas got a penalty right at the end of the game. And Jose Romo fluffed his lines. He fluffed his lines there. Had a bit of a nightmare, didn't he? Kostic saved the penalty, which means that Omonoia Radipo got 3 more points on the board, and Agritas lost out. Now, Agritas have been performing. I think they've been performing above what was expected of them. You know, looking at their points tally. But this is a match that should have been nailed on for a win. But what are you gonna do? Loizo, don't worry. I don't get a lot of Styles references, but you know, I'm good on the pop culture, I think. Rockax, I swear Romo is not a football player. He must be doing something else on the side. Listen, he's got plenty of experience in the Brodathlima. I'd say being at a team like Agridas, he's not going to get much delivery up top. I will, however, say that, you know, he bagged a goal the other week that was it was chef's kiss, or as Stel would put it here. There you go. I'm figuring it out. Romo Dulles. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Anyway, we've got the next game to go. Here it is. See, what I did is I muted myself to make sure that that you wouldn't hear my voice if I coughed or anything while the music was playing. And now it's not on mute. So yeah, very good. I'm a professional, guys. Hey! Now, so I'll do it again. Yes, thank you very much. Mute cast. Mute. Must be a new format. Je n'ai pas écouté. It's actually je n'ai pas vous écouté. If you want to be formal, or je ne t'ai pas écouté. If you want to be, personable, jovial, yes, thank you. I was on mute. I ain't no more. We hear you, but not the vid. Rockax. Mute in French. Yes, Alex. Very good. Now, let's talk about the game now, actually, yeah? So, Billy 8 balls, finally has a clean sheet. I'll get the 1-0 win, with Leo Natel getting the winning goal in the 87th minute, scoring less than a minute after coming on. Grasava, however, could have had a goal of their own during the game, but Ochoa pulled off a great save from a set piece. Then Grasava hit the post, but then Ochoa pulled off a good reflex save to stop the rebound from going in. So yeah, all right, okay. Anyway, I'll get the win. However, Grasava don't. And there's, according to brodathlima.com, EXO indeed. According to brodathlima.com, Grasava head coach Sedomir Jarnevski is under increasing pressure as his team's recent run of results have been far from encouraging. Grasava haven't won a match since 15th of September. And since then, they've suffered 4 defeats and 1 draw in 5 league games, while also being eliminated from the Cyprus Cup after losing to Nea Salamina. So, the report notes that the fixture against the Anorthosis that they've got next is viewed as decisive, with potential changes being lined up if, once again, the result is disappointing. However, this is my bit now. However, the Grasava fans are a close-knit community, brought together by Yevgeny Savin. There's a lot of Russian and Cyrillic alphabet language-speaking peoples. I won't say there's much else on that. But anyway, Yevgeny Savin is in the middle of the crowd every game, banging the drums and screaming and yelling at his players, right? So there's a Twitter account called We Are Grasava that follows myself and Stel on the This Is Mappa account. And they responded to Brodathlima's rumors saying, well, according to... Oh, hold on. I should probably... No, I'm going to do a stupid accent. I'm not going to try doing a Russian or a Slav accent. I'm just going to go for stupid. I'm going to go for stupid accent. Number 1. Here we go. No, according to my sources, Jarnevski dismissal is not on table. No, Jarnevski no leave. Jarnevski stay. Grasava president fully back coach and trust he'll improve the results soon. Team spirit positive. No. So, I mean, I know who I'm going to believe for now, because that account probably has Yevgeny Savin's ear more than whoever did the reporting from brodathlima.com. Rosida Gojagari. I'm hoping not. You flying solo tonight, Thasso? Yes, I am. Stel is currently in Cyprus, having the time of his life. Andrew, you sound like Consuelo from Family Guy. No. I mean, that's the idea. That's Granny's accent, bro. Yep. It's Sandy speaking. Oh my god, never mind. Now, should we? No. Doggy afuera. So, I mean, let's go to the next game. The next game being Anorthosis versus Aris. Now, the stuff that happened here, basically, what will happen in the highlights package here, basically happened in a minute. Anorthosis don't want to make this a habit, but yeah, they scored the penalty that Sensi scored. However, like within a minute, like from kickoff, the equalizer for Aris came, and yeah, well-worked goal. Bit of a defensive problem for Anorthosis once again. You'd think that your man gets by will learn that probably defensively his tactics don't really work, but he keeps going with it. But you know what you're gonna do. By the way, Stel was invited to that game, and it was in the stands in the away end. Oh, George, no. Look at his profile picture, ladies and gentlemen. He's got Timmy the tank engine. Timmy. He's got him right there. George isn't coming up on the comments anymore. Sorry, George. Not until you change. Not until you change that. Now, a couple of things happened around the game. So, firstly, the Machides sent out last week. I think we missed it. We missed the reporting on it. But last week, the Machides sent out a letter to former President Boulaïdis, basically. Egrisandon Bubanos Gado. Yeah, like they seem to do a lot. They blame him a lot for the situation the club finds itself in, making reference to the club's debts involving the stadium that the fans had paid off, and also the current situation the club is in. Now, I would argue that the current financial situation the club finds itself in has got nothing to do, or has got very little to do with Boulaïdis, because those players that came in were to do, or those players that came in, yes, they were Boulaïdis signings, but a few of those players had transfer offers coming in January, when Sandys was in charge. So, but we don't see anything. I've not seen anything negative from the Machides regarding Sandys. I don't know. Anyway, either way, Stella Marcu made reference to the letter in the fact that she just said, Boulaïdis was a former president. He put his heart and soul into the club and was a fan, and is a fan, and continues to help the club out financially. Now, that seems like the tried and tested thing to say to try to appease people. Does it work? I don't know. We'll see. Now, on the other side of things, I'm not going to try it, but basically, Aris, the Twitter account for Aris, basically, I don't know how to explain this to people. So, do people remember the band The Rasmus? Do people remember? Drop a comment in if you remember The Rasmus. Well, anyway, they're playing a gig in Gibro, and they were invited to the Alfa Mera Stadium and given a shirt by Aris to celebrate them doing their concert. Now, we missed it again. It was something else that we missed when it first came out, because obviously it was in the shadows all their life. Whoa, oh, oh. Whoa, oh, oh, in the shadows all my life. Boom, 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 boom. Anyway, you see, Stell's not here to put a pin in things, so I'm going off. I'm going off. Anyway, let's go to the next game, shall we? Let's go do the next game. So, which one is it? Ah, yes, it's this game. So, Aek drew 1-1 with Abuel, with Sodiriu scoring this penalty, and an equaliser in the second half from Enrique Saborit Pereira. Letting that goal in from that angle is insane. He shouldn't be doing that. That's terrible. Anyway, yes, Ajax were riding high after the Crystal Palace game, and they didn't even show up for the first half. It was all Abuel in the first half, and in fact, Abuel could have scored a second goal, but Corbu had hit the post. Yeah, brilliant first half from Abuel. However, second half was a completely different picture. Like Abuel had retreated into themselves as Ajax kind of went on the overload. Like Idiakes must have tore them to shreds at halftime, because there wasn't really any changes from either manager either at halftime. So same teams, it was just a completely different game in the second half. But in the end, Abuel held on. And Yaman Theuli, he's a special one, isn't he? That Theuli, he's a special boy. He's woo.
Στο γήπεδο ο Θεούλης γυρνά, σφυρίζει δίκαια η χώρα να σένει ξανά.
It's beautiful. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. However, he's a terrible ref, isn't he? Now, it was an absolute mess from him, especially towards the end of the game. I really, I can understand Ajax's frustrations at the end of the game. He basically, as soon as it went 95 minutes, he blew the whistle, even though, there was a few stoppages during stoppage time as well. So he should have played a few extra, seconds or a minute or whatever. Anyway, now the reason why at the end, you had quite a bit of yelling from people like Valentin Roberge and Garabadakis as well got involved, is because there was a chance right at the end for Abuel, and the thinking from Ajax people was that there was a free kick that needed to be given. I don't think it's a free kick, but so let's bring up some messages before I carry on talking about the game. Man, the referees in the derbies this game were atrocious. Yes, that's correct. I agree. Wow, new song. So that Theolis song has been loaded up on here, and then I started playing it, and then it says it's 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So I was like, no, I don't think I can allow 2 minutes and 20 seconds of just images of Theoli going past. Now, there's a big crescendo towards the end there. I'll probably speak to Stella about editing it down. But if you go over to our Instagram page, it is on there. It is on there. It is on there. You just have to do a little bit of scrolling. But yeah, it's proper Theoli. It's fantastic. Yeah. What an anthem. Yes, you should hear the whole thing. Now, yeah. Back to what happened at the end of the game. You had Roberge, Garabadagi, Idiakes going at him as well as someone else. Now, on my notes, I couldn't find what the guy's name was again, but it was somebody else went up to him as well at the end of the game. Now, Theoli gave him a red card, but if you go on the Cyprus FA app, you won't see a red card on there. And that's because the person he gave the red card to was not registered on the match sheet. So, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, so I think we're gonna hear about it a bit more in next week's video on this. Now, it's the Abuel show because I'm on my own, right? What happened this last 7 days was Petridis finally came out and did a press conference. Now, they announced the press conference the day before, but they only provided the live link for that press conference about half an hour before the press conference was supposed to start. So, I'm going to go through the highlights. I'm going to try not to comment too much, but here we go. Now, Petridis started off the press conference at pains to tell everyone that he and the rest of the board at Abuel have been working hard to provide a competitive team, to reduce the budget as much as possible, and have a coach who wants to win. But doing a lot of this. So, as we spoke about last week, a lot of this doesn't provide a lot of confidence. Anyway, he threw around the number 29% a lot. That's the reduction in the budget for this year for the team, which 29%. Well done. Well done. Hopefully, those players that are getting 29% than those from last season are getting their salaries paid, right? Anyway. He also announced that Fernando Almeida, who was the Brazilian sat next to him, is now a Cypriot citizen and has been brought in to manage the process between the Abuel board F8 and any other outside investors that get brought in. Now, Fernando Almeida has not been in Cyprus for 5 years. So, how did Fernando Almeida get Cypriot citizenship? Anyway, he then broke down a little bit why the deal between Apoel and F8 hasn't been announced yet. And in essence, it's 3 issues. The counteroffer from F8 and their partners was written with respect to Swiss law, not Cypriot law. 2, the debt repayment plan was changed to what was previously agreed, and what Petridis announced a huge fanfare in June. Oh yes, the debt will be paid off like so. Aren't I amazing for getting this sorted? Anyway, 3, the investment plan was different to previously agreed. So you remember? They're going to put in 8 million euros a year. Yeah, woo! No, that's not what they wanted to do. Anyway, F8 sent new proposals, and those new proposals have been counteroffered by Apoel, and that counteroffer is now sat with F8. Now, so yeah. The first tranche of investment is supposed to be 3 million euros, but there are differences in how that money will be sent over. The club is also exploring other avenues of investment in the case that this deal doesn't work out. And in that, in discussing that, oh yeah, by the way, I went to Ukraine while the war was on. But yeah. So we also now know a bit more detail about the transfer embargo involving Cipriano, and this is for 22,000 euros in solidarity payments, which Apoel and the club in Brazil he was purchased from agreed did not need paying. However, the board is now in conversations basically where Apoel will send the 22,000 euros to the club in Brazil and then get it back from the club in Brazil once the embargo is lifted. But there's going to be additional embargo stuff happening because Wilson Eduardo, you remember Wilson? You remember me loving Wilson, yeah, for all 3 games he played, yeah. Well, he's owed money. So again, the club seems to be having problems with players who have played 3 times, and then they fuck off. But anyway, so is the big one. Is the big one, at least on my end. So this is the transfer of Diego Rosa. Apparently, the transfer for Diego Rosa works as follows. One of the investors that are involved with F8 paid off Diego Rosa's contract at his club in Brazil. And apparently, according to Petridis, it's a huge amount. And obviously, then they got him to sign. For Apoel. For the purposes of his investment, this investor is wanting a return on his investment, i.e., if you want to read into it, it's a transfer for a certain amount of money. Otherwise, the value of the investment gets turned into shares at Apoel. Now, does anybody know the name Kia Jurapchian? Yeah? Something to do with Carlos Tevez and Javier Mascherano joining West Ham. Because I don't know. I don't know that story. And this thing here obviously has nothing to do with that story there. These are 2 completely different things. It's not third-party ownership. Diego Rosa is not third-party ownership, apparently, even though a third party owns him. Anyway, next thing. About 23 minutes in, a podcaster who was invited to the press conference asks a question. I didn't see who the podcaster was or who the journalist was, but either way, it got a bit spicy with him. The person asked the question, and his response was, "You have my phone number. I never reject your calls. If you hear something, call me, and we can get the real story out. And when you tell the truth, you get more clicks. And if this is not just for you, this is for others as well. I've already contacted Mr. Petridis, Mr. Taras777 on X and asked him to send me his number because I would also like to have a conversation with him because I would like to get the truth and I would like to report the truth for him in English so people can hear it." Yeah? Anyway, now, so back to Almeida. Petridis revealed Almeida has been working pro bono for Apoel for the last, 6 months? The guy's not been paid. Again, somebody asked him, well, how is that possible? How is he not being paid? And Petridis just went, well, ask him. Now, somebody else asked him about taxes and whether or not they pay them. And he said, of course I pay the taxes. For the love of God, wouldn't you be learning about it if I hadn't paid the taxes? And then he looks over to the side and goes, except there is a small case that is currently going through the courts. Of course, for the love of God, I'm paying my taxes. Yeah. Now, back to Almeida. Apparently, Almeida is the one doing the marketing and is the one, I'm guessing, is the one that came up with that AFC freaking logo thing that the players were wearing when they were signing. Yeah, the AFC thing. I think the reason he's done it, right, is you've got people looking for Arsenal tops and whatnot, right? So they see AFC and they go, oh, it's actually it's cheaper than the rest of them. I'll get that AFC shirt. And it's actually Abuel. But anyway, whatever. Right at the end of the press conference as well, Petridis again, he dropped what he thought was a bombshell, talking about a giant football star that will be visiting the club with a view to investing. Ooh. Hold on. I've been talking for a while. Let me bring up some comments here. I suggest you Google Bob Gozonis. He saved AEK Athens a while ago. I'll keep an eye on that. Jothio, yes, third-party ownership. No. It's not third-party ownership. It's Diego Rosa FC. There it is. Yes. And George, I said I wasn't going to bring you up, but I need to bring up this opinion with Tamuri Gets Bias face, so he gets into trouble. So Tamuri Gets Bias says, lol, absolute crook of an agent. Now, with that done, knowing this is the NC network, we need to talk about this last game, don't we? So let me move over to this, hit a little play button, and talk about Omonoia beating Bafos 2-1. Yes, They go top at the RCB. So first of all, Bafos take the lead with Vlad Dragomir. Then there's a goal chalked off for offside. Of course, Big Willy style, getting jiggy with it, scores a cracking goal for the equaliser. And then David Luiz getting sold a kipper from Jovetic. And Big Willy style, dispatches the penalty. 2-1. Lovely bit of business there for Omonoia. We'll talk about this thing later. But yeah, lovely little thing for Omonoia there, isn't it? Yeah, lovely little win, 2-1. A lot of you guys will be happy. But yeah, a lot of you spent a long time bad-mouthing Willy Semedo. Willy Semedo? Yeah? Yeah, I've been talking about Willy Semedo for 3 seasons now. I was talking about him when he was at Bafo. I was talking about him when Abuel were looking to sign him. I was talking about him when Omonoia signed him. Listen, do not sleep on Willy Semedo. I will not hear anything negative about him, even though he's an Omonoia player. Willy Semedo. By the way, I've got an FM save with Doxa, right? FM24 save with Doxa that I've got the videos saved for, and I'm going to post them on the channel at some point. I mean, you know, FM26 is out now. I might just leave it on the side, but I got Willy Semedo on loan. And he's been fantastic for me. He's been amazing. But yeah, GK. There's a comment here from GK. David Luiz did what you did at McDonald's. What did I do at McDonald's? I don't get the reference. All I know for McDonald's is ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ich liebe es. But yeah, so Omonoia get a result. Brilliant result for Omonoia, I think. Now, there's a couple of other bits of news for Omonoia this week. The first one is, now, this isn't really Omonoia, is it? But it's Gate 9. It's Omonoia-ish. It's Diet Omonoia. It's Too Omonoia, Too Furious. It depends what you guys want to call it. But either way, GK's bringing up a story from ages ago. Yes, I did say on a previous pod that I did tackle someone accidentally. Yes, I was 9. She was also 9. Right? And then in McDonald's, a Finiguis. And then we both ended up going to the same secondary school in Lincoln, in England. Yeah. And she talked about this kid that pushed her over in McDonald's. And I was like, eee. But yeah. Anyway, back to those back to Gate 9. Gate 9. Yeah. So they celebrated their 33rd birthday, and they put out a little, I won't call it little, it's quite a big announcement. Every year is our year. Okay. Today, the island's biggest supporters group, okay, celebrates 30 years of existence, 33 years of relentless struggle on and off the pitch in Cyprus and abroad for a better tomorrow, for a better game. 33 years always ahead, always on the front line. History has already vindicated us, so there's no need for comparisons with anyone. Gate 9 was, is, and always will be centuries ahead. And as we move forward, the gap will only grow. We continue tirelessly and passionately, steadfast and unwavering, with the same madness and devotion to expand and strengthen our supporters' movement, and at the same time, our club. So we can keep making everyone talk and bow before the greatness of the nine. Happy birthday to our dreams and happy birthday to their nightmares. And then this is the bit where I was like, oh, they're talking about two Omonoia too furious because they said, P.S. Tomorrow, everyone to Larnaca early for Trifilara's match against Spartacus. I'm pretty sure Spartacus play in the community stadium in Gidi. So, yeah, you lot go to Larnaca and miss the game. Anyway, Masukitsu Greek spirit, bro. Yes. Now, another thing happened at Omonoia that I haven't put in the notes, but that's basically the Anastasio era is truly well and gone, and that's because your guy Steve, what's his surname? Steve Rutter. Anyway, he's been he's been gone as well. So where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. There you go. And yeah, that is that. So, with that being that, here's the league table. And Omonoia fans will be very happy. And I'm really annoyed we didn't beat AEK because we would be up there as well. But anyway, the league table is as follows. Omonoia are in first with 19 points. Bafos are in second with 18 points. Abuel are in third with 17 points. Aris are in fourth with 17 points. AEK are in fifth with 14 points. Achna are in sixth. They're in sixth with 14 points. Apollon are in seventh with 13 points. AL are in eighth with 10 points. Agridas are in ninth with 8 points. FC Grasavadi Edizeni Ipsona Freedom 24 Lavli blah 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 are in 10th with 7 points. Olympiacos are in 11th with 7 points. Omonoia Radipo are in 12th with 7 points. Anorthosi are in 13th with 4 points. And Paralimni are in 14th with 1 point. So there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Brodathlima done. Now, there was also some cup games. There was 2 cup games that happened tonight. So that is between Abea and Achironas Onisilos, with Abea winning 2-0, with goals from Aris Loni, Jean-Jacques Ngita, and Christos Sergio. And Apollon played Meap and beat them 5-1 with goals from Morgan Brown, Markovic, Marquez, Duodu, and Lam. And there was also a goal for Meap from Philippos Papuis. But yeah, Morgan Brown got subbed off in the 16th minute. I hope it's nothing serious. I hope it's nothing serious. Next, we've got some Cyprus internationals. We've still got an international break apparently. So this is the ladies' team. We spoke about them already playing their Nations League promotion games. They played them this week. The first leg was played at the PAP, where they were 2-0 down versus Albania, and then they brought it back to 3-2. Beautiful result. Celebrations. Amazing. Fantastic game. Now, yesterday, they went to Albania. They went 2-0 down and eventually lost the game 3-0. It's almost as if that 6-hour layover in Athens was a problem. regardless, the Cyprus FA put out their little press statement saying that, you know, we didn't get the promotion as what was the aim. However, we're very proud of the ladies regardless. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. Anyway, positive note, the under-17s played a qualifier versus Finland and won 1-0. Ajax Conference League record holder David Gerasimo scored a penalty to win it for the boys. Yay! Win it! Jorthio. Stel went to Aris game and they drew and also met Morgan Brown and he got injured. Yeah. You might want to point that out to him. So I'm kind of looking at the time. I had a load of crap here about the Rasi B complaining about Goa. But yeah, what's new? You have the Doxa and the Achironas Onisilos match being called off in the second division this weekend, which means that, well, the reason that it got called off was basically what happened to Othello's a while back when they were in the first division, where basically they didn't have the match doctor show up. Yep. So that means that, well, in theory, if Mr. Vrionidis sticks with what he did last time, in theory, Doxa are going to get hit with a 3-0 defeat. Now, speaking of...
It's time to spin the wheel. What is coming? We don't know. In the wheel now.
Hey, he's here. He's here and he's beautiful. He don't know what's the Kim Kardashian tweet? Yeah, it's that, isn't it? He's here and he's beautiful. Yeah. Anyway, this week's video on it is it's a bit dry this week. There wasn't anything really crazy happening last week, so it's not too crazy. However, there are two things that have come up. And it's a shame we won't get Stel's reaction, but regardless, I'm gonna talk about them. So the first one is Ermis Aradipo under 19s were fined because in their match versus Halkanoras, they used these 6 players. Right, we've got Yorgos Tsarmandidis, Carl Lorenz Padberg, Ali Trawala Kamara, Konstantinos Bedai. That's a fantastic name. But yeah, Konstantinos Bedai, Solonas Panai, and Paraskevas Gallis. So these 6 players were not entitled to compete in the game because, according to the rules, up to 5 footballers between 19 and 22 years old are entitled to compete, and all 6 of them did. So Ermis Aradipo used too many overage players. And for that, they've been fined and given a 3-0 loss. I mean, it's an under-19s game. What are you doing using a 19 to 22-year-olds? Anyway, the other one is following the end of the Vigenis Akritas Morphou versus Ethnikos Achnas under 15s game. A Vigenis Akritas Morphou fan, I mean, it's a parent. Let's not beat about the bush. It's a parent, but an Ethnikos Akritas Morphou fan, according to Mr. Vrionidis, entered the referee's locker room, and I quote, in a wild mood, and threatened the referees in a bad and aggressive manner. Can you imagine somebody's dad got so wound up with the referee in an under-15s game, he broke into the changing rooms and was like, "Re, kamerin sukalari. Mrs. Paswa Mutrasu." Yeah. Something along those lines, I'm guessing. But you know, less Charlie, more Horcado. Anyway, that's this week's video. It is.
It's time to spin the wheel. What is coming? We don't know. Spin the wheel now.
Yay! And with that, that's the end. That's the end of the podcast. Well, it wasn't a disaster. I mean, was it? It was all right, I think. Anyway, regardless, we've got some stuff to promote at the end here. You know, we've got the Patreon. That's in the description. Remember, for the €3, $3, three monetary amounts, you get I think it's 3 anyway. You get the first 3 chapters of the This Is Mappa 2025-26 compendium almanac. Almanac. You get the first 3 chapters there, and you can kind of see the content that the rest of the biblical amount of pages, the Lord of the Rings amount of pages, that includes. Just who would the orcs be in that situation? Yeah, Theoli would be an orc. Anyway, yeah. So that's that. You can follow us on the Instagram. You can follow us on the Twitter. I'm trying to find the thing that we click that has the thing come up here, but I can't find it. So yes, at This Is Mappa on Instagram, at This Is Mappa on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I'm at Flares Gaffes or at Gaffes Flares on Instagram and Twitter. Stell, I'm going to promote Stell a little bit here. Stell is at Che Stell on Instagram, and you know, just be nice to yourself. Be nice to those around you, and just have a good time. Just have a good time. Bye bye.